Hare Krishna. Aji, thank you. Okay, let's start. Om Jnanatirandasya Jnananjana-Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishnapreshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatadeshikarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Anybody would like to sing prayers today?
I can do, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Shri Mataji, please go ahead.
कदाचित् कालिन्दी तटविपिनसङ्गीतकराहो मुदाबीरीनारी वदनकमलास्वाद्मधुपः रमा शम्भुब्रह्मा मरपतिगणेशरितपदो जगन्नाथस्वामी नयनपथगामी भवतु मे भुजे सव्ये वेणुं शिरसि शिखीपीठं कटितटे दुकूलं नेत्रान्ते सहचरकटाक्षं विदधते सदा श्रीमद्वृन्दावनवसति लीलापरिचयो जगन्नाथस्वामी नयनपथगामी भवतु मे महाम्बोधेस्तीरे कनकरुचिरे नीलशिखरे वसनप्रासादान्त सहजबलभद्रेण बलिना सुभद्रामध्यस्थ सकलसुरसेवावसरदो जगन्नाथस्वामी नयनपथगामी भवतु मे कृपापारवार सजलजलदश्रेणीरुचिरो रमावाणी रामस्फुरदमलपङ्केरुहमुख सुरेन्द्रैराराध्य श्रुतिगणशिखागितचरितो जगन्नाथस्वामी नयनपथगामी भवतु मे रथारूढो गजनपतिमिलितभूदे पतलै स्तुतिप्रादुर्भावं प्रतिपदम् उपाकर्णसदय दया सिन्धुर्बन्धु सकलजगतां सिन्धुसुतया जगन्नाथस्वामी नयनपथगामी भवतु मे परब्रह्मपीडा कुवलयदलोत्फुल्लनयनो निवासी नीलद्रौ निहितचरणोऽनन्तशिरसि रसानन्दो राधा सरसवपुरालिङ्गनसुखो जगन्नाथस्वामी नयनपथगामी भवतु मे न वै याचे राज्यं न च कनकमाणिक्यविभवं न याचेऽहं रम्यां सकलजनकाम्यां वरवधूं सदा काले काले प्रमथपतिना गीतचरितो जगन्नाथस्वामी नयनपथगामी भवतु मे हर त्वं संसारं द्रुततरम् असारं सुरपते हर हर त्वं पापानं विततिम् अपरां यादवपते अहो दीनेनाथे निहितचरणो निश्चितमिदं जगन्नाथस्वामी नयनपथगामी भवतु मे जगन्नाथाष्टकं पुण्यं यः पठेत् प्रयतः शुचिः सर्वपापविशुद्धात्मा विष्णुलोकं स गच्छति हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जगन्नाथाष्टकम की जय हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna. Shri Shankaracharya ki jai, Shri Mataji ki jai.
वैष्णव की जय
All right, translations. Anybody would like to read? Not I can read. All right, let me
I
read
can
today.
read, Prabhuji.
Yeah, if you want to. Yes, go ahead, Aarti Mataji.
Prabhuji, this screen sharing, it is not yet come out, Prabhuji. I don't know whether it is my
Oh.
problem or...
No, Mataji, I can also not see the screen.
Yeah.
Okay, let me reshare. It's showing on my side. I'll reshare again. But I posted the link in the chat if you...
Yeah. Shall I start, Prabhuji, meanwhile
Yes,
you are
go ahead,
sharing?
Mataji. Yes.
Translation. Sometimes in great happiness, Lord Jagannath makes a loud concert with his flute in the groves on the bank of the Yamuna. He is like a bumblebee tasting the beautiful lotus like faces of the cowherd damsels of Braja, and great personalities such as Lakshmi, Shiva, Brahma, Indra, and Ganesha worship his lotus feet. May that Jagannath Swami be the object of my vision. In his left hand, Lord Jagannath holds a flute. On his head, he wears peacock feathers, and on his hips, he wears fine yellow silken cloth. From the corners of his eyes, he bestows sidelong glances upon his loving devotees, and he always reveals himself through his pastime in his divine abode of Vrindavan. May that Jagannath Swami be the object of my vision. On the shore of the great ocean, within a large palace atop the brilliant golden Nilachal hill, Lord Jagannath resides with his powerful brother Balbhadra and his sister Subhadra, who sits between them. May that Jagannath Swami, who bestows the opportunity for devotional service upon all godly souls, be the object of my vision. Lord Jagannath is an ocean of mercy and as beautiful as a row of blackish rain clouds. He is the storehouse of bliss for Lakshmi and Saraswati, and his face resembles a spotless, full blown lotus. The best of demigods and sages worship him, and the Upanishads sing his glories. May that Jagannath Swami be the object of my vision. When the Lord Jagannath moves along the road on his Rath Yatra car, at every step, large assemblies of Brahmanas loudly chant prayers and sing songs for his pleasure. Hearing their hymns, Lord Jagannath becomes very favorably disposed towards them. He is the ocean of mercy and true friend of all the worlds. May that Jagannath Swami, along with his consort Lakshmi, who was born from the ocean of nectar, be the object of my vision. Lord Jagannath, whose eyes resemble full blown lotus petals, is the ornament on Lord Brahma's head. He resides on Nilchala hill with his lotus feet placed on the head of Anantadeva. Overwhelmed by the mellows of love, he joyfully embraces Srimati Radharani's body, which is like a cool pond. May that Jagannath Swami be the object of my vision. I do not pray for kingdom, nor do I pray for gold, rubies, or wealth. I do not ask for a beautiful wife as desired by all men. I simply pray that Jagannath Swami, whose glories Lord Shiva always sings, may be the constant object of my vision. O Lord of the demigods, please quickly remove this useless material existence I am undergoing. O Lord of the Yadus, please destroy this vast, shoreless ocean of sins. Alas, this is certain. Lord Jagannath bestows his lotus feet upon those who fell. Who feel themselves fallen and have no shelter in this world but Him. May that Jagannath Swami be the object of my vision. The self restrained, virtuous soul who recites these 8 verses glorifying Lord Jagannath becomes cleansed of all sins and duly proceeds to Lord Vishnu's abode. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Gitaji ki jai. Okay. We have a lot of opportunities for Jagannath Rath Yatra in US by Mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So, I know Shriya Mataji, you sang so nicely, and you were there in the Columbus Rath Yatra. And of course, I think was the Vrindavan, New Vrindavan one done also? Pittsburgh?
It's
Or is it
this Saturday, Prabhuji.
Saturday, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
Novena this Saturday, and the Pittsburgh Rath Yatra was, I think, last weekend. Yeah.
Yes. So we have so many opportunities now. You can sing in front of the Rath Yatra as you walk along.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Okay, we'll continue with Srila Prabhupada Lilamrit. So yesterday we saw Prabhupada is truly kind of given his not just sweat, blood, but even his heart truly. And we saw how he had a mild heart attack yesterday. Again, it's almost the third heart attack, right? After two in Jaladuta. And yes, his disciples were a little frightened, and Prabhupada had told them, if I really get sick, don't call any doctor or don't take me to hospital, just give me my chanting beads and chant Hare Krishna. And we see how sincerely they're all chanting for his good health. And they phoned from New York. Prabhupada is now back in New York, but they phoned California and even in Montreal. And yeah, devotees there in California are also chanting all night for Prabhupada's good health. And Prabhupada told them to chant to or pray to Lord Nrsimhadev. Because Lord Nrsimhadev is a protector, not just protector of our body, but also protector of our devotion. And how they have written down, Jadurani Mataji has written down the prayer of Nrsimhadev, and she's shared that with not just the New York devotees, but also on the phone to the California devotees, so that they can also pray to Lord Nrsimhadev. And of course, and then yesterday was also Guru Purnima, and we saw Prabhupada's faith in the mercy of his Guru Maharaj. That when he had this heart attack, he prayed to his Guru Maharaj first, right? He asked the picture of his Guru Maharaj to be put in front of his eyes, so that way he can meditate and he can pray to his Guru. So that shows the humility. He's not directly praying to even to Krishna. He's praying to his Gurudev first. And then, of course, then the devotees also brought Nrsimhadev's picture. So, all right, so we'll continue here. Anybody would like to read today? Lord Nrsimhadev.
I
Hare
can
Krishna.
read. Oh,
Go
carry
ahead.
on.
Go
Carry
ahead.
on, Mataji. It's okay. It's okay. Carry
Lord Nrsimhadev, the half man and half lion incarnation of Lord Krishna, had appeared in another age to save his pure devotee Prahlad and kill the demon Hiranyakashipu. Prabhupada had asked his disciples to pray to Lord Nrsimhadev by chanting the special mantra and thinking, "O Master has not finished his work. Please protect him." The boys went back to the temple and chanted together. But after a few hours, they fell asleep. They wanted to rest so that they could go to the hospital the next day. Haridas. When we heard about it in San Francisco, there was grief and people were crying. There was a tremendous love and thinking about Swamiji, and just concentration, a mass concentration of pulling him through, giving him strength and summoning the help of Krishna and Lord Chaitanya and everybody we could possibly call upon to lend their energies. People came to the temple doing rosaries and whatever faiths or beliefs or trips they were on. They were directing that toward a healing. They were all chanting with us. Hayagriva. It's a night we will never forget. We turn on the altar lights behind the Jagannath candle lit candles and chant in the flickering shadows. It is Solomon chanting and even more Solomon dancing. News quickly spreads down. mm, Sorry, my screen just got blurred. News quickly spread down. What was the street name, Prabhu? How do you pronounce it?
8th Street. 8th.
Hate Street. Hate Street, and soon the temple is crowded with others come to chant with us through the night. Mukunda and Janaki phoned New York, but there is no additional information. Kirtananda is spending the night in hospital beside Swamiji's bed. No one else is being allowed in. Hospital regulations. Yes, everyone in New York is chanting. We chant past midnight. Most of the guests leave, but none of us yet feel sleepy. The chanting overtakes us in waves. My mind wanders to Swamiji in New York, to the future, to the past. I have to yank it back into the room to comfort the present, to realize why we were chanting, to petition Sri Krishna to spare our master a little longer, to allow him to spread Lord Chaitanya's glorious Sankirtan movement around the world. The chanting is always here, incessant. By 2 a.m., I began to tire. I changed instruments just to keep awake, sometimes playing mridanga, sometimes cymbals or harmonium. Many dancing to stay awake. The girls serve prasadam, sliced apples. It is dangerous to sit next to the wall, an invitation to doze off. We are all frail. Hare Krishna soothes. The chanting releases us from so much needless fretting. Through it we can relieve tensions, grieve, plead, and hope. It is between 3 and 4 a.m., the most ecstatic hour, the Brahma Muhurta hour before the dawn. If he is alive at this hour, surely he will live. We sing, we chant on beads, constant Hare Krishna. We chant through the usual 7 a.m. Kirtana hour and into the morning. We chant 14 hours without cessation. We cleanse the dust from the mind's mirror. We see Krishna and Swamiji everywhere. Surely now he is well. During the night, Srila Prabhupada's heart pained him. The next day, he remained in critical condition. He could speak but softly and was too exhausted to converse. Spectacle of the doctors, he diagnosed himself a heart attack affecting part of his brain and thus paralyzing the left side of his body. Massage, he said, was the cure. On the morning of June 1st, other disciples joined Kirtananda in Prabhupada's room, and by taking shifts, were able to give Prabhupada a constant message. They took turns massaging his head, chest, and legs as he directed. This simple act drew each of them into an intimate relationship with him. When Prabhupada heard that not only in New York but in San Francisco also the devotees had chanted and prayed all night, he expressed satisfaction not by his usual hearty smile but by a slight nodding and an approving sound. Despite his weakness, he was fully conscious. The doctors, or more often aides, took blood, gave injections, and investigated. Their diagnosis wasn't conclusive. They had plans for experiments. Then suddenly a doctor came in and announced their next move, a spinal tap. Prabhupada was too weak to discuss the pros and cons of a spinal tap. He had put himself in the care of his disciples and Krishna. The doctors the doctors didn't want to impede. He explained why a spinal tap was necessary, but he wasn't asking for consultation or permission. Everyone except for Kirtananda, who insisted on staying, had to leave the room while the doctor performed the spinal tap. Neither Prabhupada, who was too weak, nor his boys, who were uncertain how to act on his behalf, opposed the doctor. The devotees filed out of Prabhupada's room while the doctor readed the largest, most frightening needle they had ever seen. When they were allowed back, one disciple asked cautiously, "Did it hurt, Swamiji?" Srila Prabhupada, his golden skinned form wrapped in white hospital garments and lying between the white sheets, turned slightly and said, "We are tolerant." Rupanuga. When Swamiji was first admitted to hospital, it was very hard for me. I didn't know how I should act. I didn't have much experience with this kind of emergency. I was very uncertain as to what service to do for Swamiji. It was frightening experience. Swamiji's life was at stake, yet his disciples didn't know what to do to save him. He lay on the bed as if at their mercy. But the hospital staff considered him their property, an old man with heart trouble, a subject of investigation. And for Swamiji's disciple, this was 100 times worse than dealing with Mr. Price and company. Now, it was not just a matter of risking money, but of risking Swamiji. But of risking Swamiji, should they allow the EEG? What was an EEG? Was an operation necessary? An operation? But Swamiji had said that he should never even be brought to a hospital. Give me massage was all he had said, and chant Hare Krishna. When Srila Prabhupada mentioned his preference for an Ayurvedic medical treatments available in India, some of the devotees suggested they bring a doctor from India. After considering the expense, Prabhupada decided to send a letter first. Unable to sit up and write, he slowly dictated a letter to Sri Krishna Pandit, who had given him quarters for several years in his temple in Delhi. Satswarupa read it back to Prabhupada and then typed it right there in Prabhupada's hospital room. I'm writing this letter from the hospital. All of a sudden, I have developed some headache as well as throbbing of chest. When I rub my chest, I feel some sensation in my left hand, and when I rub my left hand, I feel sensation in my chest. My left hand no more works independently. I therefore ask you if there is any good Vedic physician in Mathura who can be sent to who can send me some medication, that is, you purchase and send them by air mail to our temple. ISKCON 26 Second Avenue, New York. The symptom is predominantly when I get severe pain within my head, and the trembling of left hand is coming every 10 and 15 minutes. I am afraid if this is not a disease like Lakya. The boys were taking utmost care of me. There is no scarcity of care. But still, after all, this body is subject to death. I came here with great mission to execute my spiritual master's order, but my heart is stabbing me. Of course, I'm not afraid of Maya. I know Maya cannot touch me, but still, if I die in this condition, my mission will remain unfulfilled. Please, therefore, pay to Prabhu Lord Chaitanya and Vrindavan Bihari to rescue me this time. My mission is still not finished. I wish to live for a few more days. They are prepared to call an emergency. Sorry, they are prepared to call an experienced Ayurvedic physician who treats such disease, but I have not allowed the boys. But if necessary, if you can give me an expert physician who can travel here, we can send necessary money for his coming here or arrange for air ticket. You can consult the man in charge of Daka Shakti. At last, I may inform you that I am inclined toward Ayurvedic treatment. You can consult the Ayurvedic physician in Vrindavan who is a Gaudiya Vaishnav. He knows me very well. He sells my books also. Two things are to be done if it is possible. To send me proper medications and directions, that will be nice. But if I require to return, that also I can do. Please try to reply as soon as possible in English because my student cannot read Hindi. So long as I am in bed, it's not possible to read letters. You can treat this letter very urgently. Consult necessary physicians and let me know what I am to do. In Mathura, there are undoubtedly many Ayurvedic physicians and many quacks also. Try to avoid the quacks. I would have returned to India immediately, but the doctors say it's risky. If need be, I shall return as soon as I get strength to take the strain of the journey. I repeat my symptoms so that you can take necessary care. All of a sudden, I developed some throbbing between the heart and stomach about 4 days ago. I was too I was so exhausted. It is it was like fainting. Then I consulted a doctor who came and gave me medicine, but it was of no good effect. Therefore, my student had once transferred me to hospital where they are spending more or less 400 rupees daily. There is no question of neglect. All scientific treatment is going on. But I think Ayurvedic medicine will be proper. Therefore, I request you to take immediate steps and reply me. I hope this letter will convince you the actual position. While reading this letter, you may consult some friend who knows English very well so that I will read it correct so that he will read it correctly and reply correctly. There is no scope of corresponding in Bengali or in Hindi. By Krishna's grace, on the afternoon of Srila Prabhupada's second day in hospital, he showed slight improvement. His heart was still causing him pain. His facial expression remained grave, with never a smile, but he was a bit stronger. The interns, nurses, and doctors came and went on schedule, treating him impersonally. One doctor did seem a little interested in what Prabhupada was all about, and at Prabhupada's request, Kirtananda played a taped lecture for the doctor. He listened politely, but then said, "It doesn't ring a bell." The doctor said that he wanted to run a few more tests and that Swamiji might be able to leave after a few weeks if all went well. Srila Prabhupada tried speaking to doctor, wanting to explain about Krishna. Jadurani had brought two of her paintings to the hospital room, one of Radha and Krishna and the other of Prince half lion, half man incarnation, Lord Nrsimha, tearing apart the demon Hiranyakashipu. Speaking in a very low voice, Prabhupada said that these two pictures show how God is many sided. Here he is in his loving exchange, and here also we see that the anger comes from Krishna or God. The doctor politely said that he had his own philosophy and that Swamiji shouldn't be preaching while in such weak health. He should rest. Advising the disciple not to allow their guru to speak, the doctor excused himself and continued his rounds. Srila Prabhupada, his with slight improvement, expressed more disapproval of being in the hands of hospital personnel. They weren't able to do anything, he said. Krishna was in control. If Krishna wants to kill you, then no one can save you. But if Krishna wants to save you, then no one can kill you.
Mm. Thank you so much. We'll stop here.
Hare Krishna.
We'll let it be in Krishna's hands. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Rakhe Krishna, Mare Ke. Yes. Anything else you would like to share from today's reading?
Yeah, I was thinking that Prabhupada, though so weak, he wasn't missing that opportunity to preach doctors. Doctor by her side, who was little interested. That was very impressive to see that. Of course, Prabhupada would never leave any opportunity to preach. His faith in Ayurveda, which comes from Vedas and which is more natural, was also very much seen by today's reading. He was bringing photos of Radha Krishna and Nrsimhadev in hospital. He would also he would not need it, but then the people, the nurses, the hospital personals were there. They were, or they were be able to take the darshan at least, so get some mercy, get some sukriti. His disciples, very sincere efforts in whatever way they were able to do for Srila Prabhupada, their love when they were awake the whole night, trying to defeat Maya, trying to defeat sleep, staying awake as, whatever way, whatever means they could. It is very hard to not sleep at all the whole night and stay awake. So the love they had for Srila Prabhupada was, so true. We can see that from today's reading. May we all can, get that little love for Srila Prabhupada in the true sense. That would be very nice for our bhakti as well. That is it from me, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, thank you so much for sharing so many nice points. Yes, yeah, staying up all night, it's not easy, and like they were vulnerable, they were saying, I mean, it's not like they were saying, they're boasting that they did it right, but they were saying how, yeah, practically, they were trying to fall asleep, and they were trying to avoid getting next to the wall because that will be easy invitation to doze off, right? So, but yeah, genuinely, like you said, genuinely they had that love, in their hearts for their Swamiji. And we can see not just New York, California, San Francisco, all the devotees, and some people who were not devotees, they were also coming in and they were offering their own methods of worship as a way of healing and giving those healing prayers for Srila Prabhupada. And yeah, we see like the same mood, like you said, this mood has carried on, right? And even now we see as our Guru Vargas, next Maharajas in the line, they're almost now on the verge of the same kind of health as Srila Prabhupada was in 1970s. So yeah, but we see all the disciples all over the world praying for all the Guru Vargas. Many people are doing continuous Narsimha prayers, right? So all of that now you can see. Now I can actually relate that all of this was again divine instructions given by Srila Prabhupada, and the same process is just carrying on in disciplic succession, right? As like Jayapataka Maharaj, Giriraj Maharaj, even our Guru Maharaj, when he was sick last year, devotees all around the world came together, continuously chanting for their good health. Eventually, everything is surrendered to the Lord. Right? The whole prayer is just to the Lord to give them good health so that they can carry on their mission for their gurus. And yeah, so that is kind of the mood. And yeah, Prabhupada, like you said, he has so much of faith in everything that is related to the Lord, right? So they have more faith in Ayurveda than in doctors and medical system here in America. But yeah, how much pain he had in his body, and still he dictated this letter, sent it to India, and he's hoping that somebody from India can provide him Ayurvedic medication or treatment. Yes, Shilpa Mataji, see your hand is raised. Would like to share anything? You're on mute, Shilpa Mataji. Okay, you're still on mute if you're speaking. Or we can come back to her. Anything else? Anybody else would like to share anything from today's reading?
Yes, Prabhuji. Just thought of this quote by Srila Prabhupada, and here it's mentioned that Mare Krishna Rakhe ke Rakhe Krishna Mare ke. So he mentions, I just read it somewhere that, he said that if your death is written, in the ocean, then, nothing can prevent you from not going there, and you will take a submarine and go in the ocean and then die. So like if it's just Krishna's plan, it just tells you that you cannot overcome death or life, in that way. So just wanted to share that.
Yeah. Yeah, but we see how the devotees are fully surrendered, right? So for them, Krishna is the protector, he's the savior. And yeah, if he wants to call them, then that is also surrender. That yeah, whatever Krishna wants to do, ultimately he is the best judge, and he will provide the best for all his devotees. So that is true surrender.
Yeah, definitely. I'm watching Mahabharat lately, and the episode of the Lakshagra, because Krishna wanted to save Pandavas, and even when everything was planned by the Kauravas, nothing happened to them. So it's when Krishna protects, it's nobody can kill anybody.
Even the Rath itself was destroyed by Karna, right? Krishna says at the end, he asks Arjuna to step off first.
Yeah.
Then he steps off because he said it was already doomed. But since Krishna was there in the Rath, it was protected, shielded. So, yes. And sometimes, yeah, these are like, of course, these are transcendental pastimes of the Lord and His pure devotees. While we read, yeah, our heart pains how much Srila Prabhupada went through for us. Yeah, like He Himself, this is just one night the devotees are staying up all night, but imagine how much He sacrificed. Like so many nights we read, Prabhupada would stay awake whole night. And many of our predecessor acharyas, some of them hardly slept for 30 minutes. 30 minutes to 1.5 hours. Bhaktivinoda Thakur only slept for that much, right? So they sacrifice so much to give us this treasure because this is unlimited. It is ever increasing, right? Like Bhaktisiddhanta said, the glories of the transcendental world cannot be described. Every single minute we can publish articles. So how much is there to glorify? And they sacrifice their sleep day after day, night after night, and gave us all this treasure so that we can read it today and we can get closer to the Lord, by reading His transcendental pastimes about Him, about His devotees, about His abode, etc. So much they have done, and of course, Krishna is just teaching us through His pure devotees that this is the kind of the blueprint. This is the ultimate way of surrender, ultimate way of service to the Lord that His pure devotees did. So hopefully this inspires us also to follow Him with humility in their footsteps, not to become prideful, but remembering that even pure devotees of the Lord go through so much trouble. So what to speak of ours, right? We get some little medical issue and we leave our chanting. So that is my state, right? So we think, oh, we'll do it tomorrow or we'll do it later. But all of these things, actually, I was listening to another thing recently. Radhanath Maharaj was saying that in one of the videos, it was said that in Radhanath Maharaj, when he was in Italy, some lady came to him from who had come from Ukraine, and Ukraine, of course, we know with all the war going on with Russia and Ukraine, how much of struggle is going on, and so finally she escaped. She managed to escape from Ukraine, and she had a small baby, and she met Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and even though she was explaining all this problem, she had this baby in her hands. She didn't know, what will happen because she didn't know what will happen to her baby, to his future. She just came out and she had nobody to go to, but now she had this baby in her hand. But still, she was a devotee, of course. But she had this baby on one hand, but she had her chanting bag in the other hand, and she was continuously chanting. So that is the faith, right? So how much of problems the devotees are facing all over the world. If you see some of these stories, it's just heart-wrenching, but still they don't lose faith. That is the true determination, true courage, to follow the path or follow the instructions of the Guru. And so yeah, when we have these kind of stories, we can take inspiration and see that we have all possible comforts here in sitting here in the USA. And if we are not able to chant our rounds nicely, we're not able to fulfill the instructions of our gurus, then yeah, it's not. We have a long way to go before we can desire to go back to Godhead. And pure devotees actually don't even desire that. We were reading last night. Pure devotees just desire to serve the Lord in any condition. That is their only desire. And then Krishna, he has his desire to always serve his pure devotees. So that is his transcendental desire, right? So there's always this transcendental competition going on in the spiritual world. Devotees always want to serve the Lord. The Lord always wants to serve his devotees, selflessly. Nobody's desiring anything. It is just coming out of natural love. So that is the mood. Yeah. And even this chanting all night, even like recently I was seeing one, of course we had the Nirjala Ekadashi in June, so devotees chant all night also, and some devotees are sharing their experiences of staying up, many of them for the first time, but how much of bliss that gave them. And just like here, Prabhupada, these disciples were trying to stay up by changing their musical instruments. Some were dancing, some were trying to share prasadam. Similarly, yeah, even devotees today who stay up all night and chant during Nirjala Ekadashi. It is so hard, but yeah, all the different bhakti processes that Prabhupada has given us, by following chanting, dancing, kirtan, sometimes even some drama, So different ways, but staying up all night and immersing themselves in the mood and hearing Shravanam and Kirtanam, so all different bhakti processes, but it is still happening even today in ISKCON. So that is so nice to see that again, everything that Prabhupada taught is being continued after 50 years, 60 years almost now. This week is actually going to be the 60th year or 59th year of incorporation of ISKCON, this July, this coming weekend, or next weekend, sorry. So, all right, okay. I think we have 6:40. Any other final thoughts, comments? Shilpa Mataji, are you still here? I see your hand is still up. Do you want to say something? No. Okay. All right. Thank you, dear devotees. So we'll stop here and we'll end with Vaishnava Pranam prayers. Vansha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, शिला प्रभुपाद लीलामृत की जय. May Sri Lord Nrsimhadev protect Srila Prabhupada and all his sincere devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.